Woo-wee. Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. This is Jesse getting started right at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right on the dot as usual. Good to see everyone back on. If it's your first time, awesome. Welcome. If you're returning to the live stream, even better. Good to see you back. Help me help you by helping me with algorithms. I would appreciate it. Smash the like button, hit the repost button, no matter what platform you're on. Share it with friends and family if you think it would help them. And throw an emoji, comment, whatever. First half of the live stream, we will cover the watch list, Bitcoin, altcoins, stocks, futures. I don't know. Second half of the live stream, we'll cover your chart request. So put in the ticker symbol, put in the ticker name, put in the asset class type, because some of the ticker symbols overlap with crypto and stocks. And we'll get going here very, very shortly. D, E, F. Okay. What are the key levels you see being hit on this bounce? Lower levels are my targets, right? Like target 4 on Bitcoin. You have shorter term target 4 that has not been hit as of yet for Bitcoin. Ethereum has. So that would be the next shorter term target. Yesterday's live stream covered it in detail with the shorter term targets, longer term targets. So we can take a glance at it, but covered it in at least 45 minutes yesterday. Okay. Yeah, it happens a lot, right? It happens to the best of us. I honestly don't know too much about his analysis or his charts. That one just popped up on my feed and I just threw in a reply comment. But I really don't have time to follow other accounts. It's just I'll hit like the home button and I'll see new posts, and then I click on said new posts, and then maybe pick out a handful that are saying, something similar or different than what I've been posting, and then I throw in a reply. I honestly don't have. I wish I had more time to follow others, but I don't. So I'm not really sure. Good evening, Gert Jan Tenhove. It's been a long time. I haven't seen you comment in a long time, but I didn't live stream for a long time, so that's probably the main thing. Looks like you're on the cell phone. Looks like you're on the cell phone. Hello, London, UK, not so sexy news. You had same picture, but I think you had a different name. It's been a long time. What was your old name? Same picture though, I think. I'm trying to remember. It was like over a year ago, 6 months ago. I can't remember. I remember the picture though. It seems like you have a new name. Let me know. Interested. This is the Bitcoin Lawrence. Yes. Okay. Yep. I remember the picture though. London, UK, not so sexy Lawrence news. Cool. Bitcoin 3-week chart. I didn't point out all the bearish divergence 3-week bearish divergence. I didn't point out all the 3-week bearish engulfing candles on here because the chart just starts to look messy. But bearish engulfing candle, and price did go lower slightly before reversing back up. bearish engulfing candle. After the close, right? Price went sideways for a couple went sideways for another 3-week candle and then had another bearish engulfing candle, right? And then price came all the way down and retested the 200-week moving average. Fast forward to 2024, and you've got a bearish engulfing candle, 2025, bearish engulfing candle. Price went lower, very similar to this candle setup. And I did before this 3-week candle happened, is happening. I put on the bars pattern, right? And before it happened, and that's what is happening right now, right? So price did go down from wick to wick 32%, 31, 32%, right? And currently, depending on what chart you look at, this is Coinbase, but if you look at Binance, no, actually, this one, about 22% so far. The 3-week candle doesn't even close until November 17th. We have 12 more days remaining in this 3-week candle. So it would take time for the ship to get turned around if price is going to make a new all-time high, right? This 3-week candle closed first. So think about 12 days from now. Then another 3-week candle. So that's, call it 5 weeks, 8 weeks, 11 weeks, and then made a new all-time high like 12 to 14 weeks later, right? So at least 12 weeks it would take, if it was going to play out exactly like this, it would take 12 more weeks for price to make a new all-time high. It takes time for the ship to get turned around. If you look at this massive 3-week bearish engulfing candle, it had to close, right? First, that's, it closed, and then it was 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 weeks before it made a new all-time high. It would take time for the ship to get turned around. This bearish engulfing candle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30 something. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. It would take 39 3-week candles or nearly or more than 2 years. It was 791 days. 2 years to make a new all-time high. Right? And even longer from here. So from here to here, it took 819 days. Let's see, 819. Yeah, very long, right? Confirmed. 819 days is a very long time period. 2.25 years, right? 2.25 years. So I'm not expecting a quick, sharp recovery to make a new all-time high. Even over here, it took months for the ship to turn around to make a new all-time high, right? Months. This took years, 2 years, at least 2 years. This took, we just covered it all. So that's the point. So the question is this bearish engulfing candle like this one or like this one? So if you look at it, and there's several other major reasons why it could be this one, right? Several reasons why. So after this one, rallied, made a new all-time high. After this one, rallied, made a new all-time high. And then this one came and then went sideways for a couple of candles and then ultimately came back down to 200-week moving average. That's what I would expect again. Could it make a new all-time high? Sure, but it wouldn't happen tomorrow. It wouldn't happen the next day. It wouldn't happen in Moonvember. It wouldn't happen in December, most likely. Maybe January, right? So it's just not, I'm just not seeing it, right? So you've got the local top, which was still a 50 something percent drawdown, made a new all-time high, and then the top. Started as a local top and then became the top. Local top, 32% correction, made a new all-time high. This is at least a local top, and then we're going to find out if it's going to be the top or not. And so you just got to look back, like if you got the 3-week chart, you got bearish divergence on the 3-week time frame. The lower high is the higher probability. By then, you're so late to the party, right, that you're a forced toddler at that point, right? But you had the RSI sell signal back there, and never went on to make a new buy signal all the way back over here. You've got bearish divergence going all the way back, and then a lower high will be the higher probability. But like I said, that would be really late to the party. If it comes down like this, bounces in January or whenever, and then continues down, and you're waiting for a lower high in the 3-week chart, right? You're waiting for that lower high on the 3-week chart. What is that? Price would be most likely it would be, if it was like, came down like that, right? So if it followed, comes down like that, bounces, and then comes down like that, right? That would be the higher probability on the 3-week chart. Now, you could do the same scenario for the daily chart, the weekly chart, 2-week chart, monthly chart, etc. The higher the time frame, the more lagging it is, the longer it takes, and the less you're catching tops or bottom reversals, right? So the main reason why I look at it is for overall trend direction, right? Overall trend direction. So if relative strength is leaving the building on higher time frames, it's just a matter of time before price catches up. Weekly chart, similar thoughts. Bearish divergence, but this could be the sneaky lower high. So we talked about on the 3-week chart, this could be the sneaky lower high that I just talked about. So the week doesn't close until Sunday, so we got plenty of time to watch it unfold. But it's not looking good, right? It's not looking good for the bulls. The RSI sell signal back here. We expect bounces along the way. The overall trend is the relative strength is leaving the building, and we're not anywhere near a bottom on relative strength on the weekly chart, or so I know people like to call out that are very hopeful for a reversal in the overall markets because the 1-hour chart is at 20 RSI, right? 20. Double bottom on lower time frame BTC. I mean, it already started bouncing. It was like it was up 5% from the wick. So put in the ticker symbol. I'll take a look at Galaxy stock on the second half. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Tomas Ortega Garcia. How's my R's? Still got to get that caffeine kicked in, right? How they do on the rolling the R's? Pretty bad. Pretty bad. It's not my strong suit. It's not my strong suit. Oh, I mean, I would be looking for. It's not a number. I'd be looking for divergences, and then you can look for like lower highs and higher lows, depending if it's bullish or bearish divergence. So different strategy. It was covered in the 60 plus hours of recorded coaching. It's currently not available on the website. It's grandfathered in, but it's currently not available. I have been getting requests about it though, so may add it back on. Probably not this week, but maybe next week. Maybe I'll add the recorded coaching back on. But it was on for 3.5 years, and I did a full hour on RSI. I did a full hour, the RSI divergent, combined 1 hour, RSI divergence, all that stuff, all that. I went deep, self taught, self taught. Is my own trading style. So once you get into like, just from obsessing over charts, staring at charts obsessively. But I've had pretty much the same strategy for about 6 years now. Of course, it's evolved slightly here or there, but I try to keep it as simple as possible. But yeah, self-taught. Which indicators that you're using? It looks like trial by fire. By the way, self-taught, trial by fire. Which indicators that you're using? It looks like the MACD. Honestly, your Spanish is pretty good. Oh, the bad words on Spanish is probably the best. But it depends on the day, depends on the hour, right? But 60 plus hours of recorded coaching is on a private recording coaching channel for Discord. The only way to gain access to it is if you had paid for the recorded coaching. Like I said, you're grandfathered in. If you paid for it anytime in the last 3.5 years, it included the 2 indicators. And right now on the website, to keep it simple, I only have the 2 indicators that were turned into strategies. So you could actually use it to automate your trading. But I have been getting requests for the recorded coaching, so I may add it back on. What do you use as a resource when you don't know something? Probably YouTube, right? I've learned a lot on YouTube. But the self-taught was staring at charts and, trying out different, back when, you know, took a deep dive on many indicators and was back testing, quote unquote experts that were doing this or doing that. And at the end of the day, I came across my own strategy and built the indicators and stuff off of that. So I didn't build a strategy off the indicator initially. I built my 2 indicators off of my strategy to try to resemble it as much as possible. And a slightly different version have automated it, right? So these 2 indicators showing, if you go over here, Market Sniper Sharpshooter RSI 3.2. The 2.0 indicator that I have is shown here, but now it's in automated form. It still has the visual, but it's also can automate your trading. And there's different filter settings that I didn't have on my original strategy because it's automated, so it's slightly different. Can it outperform me personally? I would say no on higher time frames. Would it outperform me on day trading over time? Yes, because I'm human and the trading bot doesn't care if, the trading bot doesn't get tired. The trading bot has zero emotions. The trading bot has trading bots, both of them, or all 30 of them, right? Like doesn't sleep if it doesn't, like, if you don't want it to. Doesn't have a 16-month-old baby girl that he wants to spend time with, right? The trading bots don't have any of that stuff. The trading bot isn't on Twitter or YouTube or, blah blah blah. So yeah, that is And then, of course, sharpshooter candles. It was sharp candles 3.1 that I turned it into a strategy and added filters. And then these lines are this is like a example take profit setting, right? So example, and these ones are going to work differently for better situations and different for different asset classes. So you just have to play with the settings, do the back testing, the strategy testing, and find out what works for you depending on what you're trading. For example, one instance where it wouldn't work as good on a higher time frame for stocks is it waits for the candle to close. I think it's smarter for that. I've always built my indicators and strategies based off of that. But how would it close? How would it trigger a buy based off of a daily candle close on stocks? Because the stock market closes, right? So, 4-hour chart more likely, 8-hour chart more likely, 2-hour chart a lot more likely, 1-hour chart, et cetera, et cetera. So for stocks, it's a little bit different. Crypto never closes 24/7, so shouldn't have, I never say it won't, but shouldn't have any issues with crypto on the higher time frames like daily chart, weekly chart, etc., because the market doesn't close. Futures could have, but not as much, could have issues on the higher time frames, but not as much as stocks, because it does close, but it's open more often. So, but not too many people are probably trading futures on the daily chart or the weekly chart because it's leverage, right? So those are more designed for shorter term trades, whether it's the 4-hour, 1-hour, 15-minute chart, or even lower than that. So this is a 1-hour chart being shown on the NASDAQ. This is a 5-minute chart being shown on Coinbase, but could have shown it on the NASDAQ futures as well, and vice versa. So I'm not even sure why. I was just happened to be on those charts at the time. So um, so yeah, I mean, YouTube, you could probably find a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Help me, help you, help me. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep. Teamwork makes the dream work. We can look at it later. We can look at it, Gert. So there we go. Let's keep going. Let's get back to it. By the way, I don't have any paid sponsors, affiliate money. I've never made $1 off of affiliate money. The third party, one of the third party vendors to help with the 100% full automated trading, I do have like a 20% off code. It was either I share a link to make 20%, or I share a link to pass 20% savings on to my subscribers. And of course, I chose to pass the 20% savings on to myself too, but also to subscribers. So there is a benefit to having followers, is that, and all of you, is that they give me 20% off for myself and 20% off for all my subscribers. So maybe if I had more followers, I could negotiate higher, but I don't. So I have what I have. But yeah, there we go. So paid sponsor, don't have any of those, but we do have Market Sniper Pro. And I forgot. Hold on one second. We'll go back into Bitcoin, but let's go over here. Share the live stream, repost it, throw in a quick emoji. Help me, help you, help me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, you got Market Sniper Pro. You've got the only link that I have. This is the only link, marketsniper.pro. Woo! 3.5 years, at least 3.5 years. I just don't want to I don't want to fib the numbers. So I just do 3+. But I've been working on trading bots since May of 2022. So yeah, 3.5 years. Pretty close to 3.5 years, at least. I have like 30+. This price is not going to be here forever, $49. This is just like a soft launch. We're working out the kinks. So for those of you who jumped on this right away, thank you. I appreciate you. And it's a soft launch, working out the kinks, the full automation from setup to getting you Discord access. And the only thing we don't have fully set up automated yet is I have to still add you to the Trading View scripts. The uh, and so that's the only thing right now. I think everything else is worked out. Working on continue to work out the kinks on the login stuff, so you can manage your own subscriptions. Cancel, upgrade to the annual, blah blah blah. Optional add-on if you want to get fully set up on 100% automated trading, and I recommend starting off with a paper trading account, and doing that for at least spend some time. And this is why another good reason the price is so low is that you can spend some time playing with the settings on and coming up with a great strategy of your own that's profitable and would more than pay for the $49 a month yourself, right? Hopefully you share that with a group. If you find some good settings, it'd be awesome. That's the whole idea behind it. The Discord and all that stuff is working together, like-minded people. But you could be fully set up within an hour, even with a third-party vendor that can help fully set you up with that and basic settings, walk you through back testing, all that. Probably in 45 minutes. It is a 1-hour call, so kind of leave 15 minutes for questions, stuff like that. But could literally hold your hand walking you through it. I won't be doing it for $249, but Alex will. He's great at it. I walked him through it, and now he can walk you through it. Great guy. Picked this up very quickly. And now he's helping me with a lot of stuff. So shout out to Alex. I appreciate him. He's younger than I am, and he's more tech savvy than I am. And Alex is helping me get off and run, and he'll do it for much cheaper. So another shout out to Alex for him helping you stay cheaper. But this is going to increase. We're going to be releasing more trading bots. We've got more tools I'm not ready to announce yet, but some more tools that are going to be released, and maybe even the recorded coaching, and maybe even a lower tier as well. But right now we're just rolling out soft launch. You got the full automation over here. And the more tools, the more people that join the Discord, the prices will have to increase, because I don't want 50,000 people in there. I'd rather keep it small. Concentrated, but I don't want 50,000. So I would increase it over time. But with that, let's get back to it. The weekly chart is bearish. This could be that lower high that I'm talking about on the 3-week chart, could be on the weekly chart, right? So you've got bearish divergence long term, right? Even the indicator is picking up the bearish divergence here. At one point, it did pick it up here. And now this is no longer bearish divergence. This could be, and most likely is, the lower high. And it will tell us in hindsight, after this weekly candle close, if it takes out this pivot point over here, that was at about RSI 50, that's a lower low. And that confirms the lower high. So that means we're not flipping back around to make a new all-time high in the near future. That's what it means to me. There are several reasons why it's the top, not just the local top. It has been the local top, then it was the local top again, and then this one started as the local top, and now there are a lot of reasons why it's not just the local top. And of course, you take out this pivot point over here, then that those probabilities continue to increase that it's the top, in my opinion, right? So another pending sell signal on this indicator as well. Look at the 2-week chart. Could be the first 2-week candle close below the trailing dots since over here. Again, long-term bearish divergence. Is this a sneaky lower high? Right? Is this a sneaky lower high? Is this a sneaky lower high? Well, a candle close below these pivot points up here confirms that, right? Confirms that. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. That's a 2-week chart. 3-week chart. Long-term bearish divergence. Long-term, no lower high as of yet. That's what we already covered that, but that's what we're looking at. 3-week chart, pending bearish crossover on the 3-week chart. Bearish divergence that I've pointed out on the MACD histogram. Bearish divergence. The histogram is decreasing while price is increasing, right? So that happened back here as well. So if you go back over here, the histogram decreased while price made a new all-time high, even made a lower peak over here. This made slightly higher in the 3-week, but it's about the same, right? So we'll see. Again, going back to it, the 3-week chart bounced off of the trending dots. Bounce off the trending dots. Bounce off the trending dots. Once it closed below it, then it was another confirmation that the top was in. The top was in. Bounce off the trending dots. Bounce off the trending dots. Has currently bounced off the trending dots. And then we're going to find out if it's going to close in hindsight below the trending dots and then come back down and hit the 200-week moving average in hindsight when we're talking about this in real time before it happens, right? So you got the hindsight crew and then you've got the foresight crew. So we just do our best as the foresight crew and not just report the news of what happened after it already retested 200-week moving average, which I see so much of. It's crazy. So the daily chart, we're way below the trending dots as of right now. This last move was swift, as I talked about. I said before it happened, I said the next move down could be swift, right? The next move down could be swift. And it was, right? Even the last couple of days, it dropped 11%. And now all of that 11%, we're getting a retracement. It's taking time off the clock. If you're a sports fan and say you've got a lead and you just want to try to run out the clock, it's kind of like taking time off the clock, letting the moving averages catch up, letting the trending dots catch up, right? Letting the trending dots catch up. Whether it does or it does not, come back and retest it again before it goes down lower. That's what I see. It's bearish on the daily chart. It's bearish on the weekly chart. There are signs of reversals on the 2-week chart. There are signs of reversals on the 3-week chart and even the monthly chart. So the higher time frames are reversing while the lower time frame, like the daily chart, is bearish. And then the really lower times, like the 5-minute chart, it's bounce, right? Double wick bounce on the 5-minute chart, right? So, or the 1-hour chart. So you got the trending dots, it's well below it. And that's what we're still watching over here. Price came down, hit 98,886 while we're on the $94,000 Bitcoin watch party. Whoever was on that yesterday, there was over 6,000 views. And then I did a part 2 because it was the double wick bounce in progress. And we were watching it and came came back down and hit 98,000 again on part 2, and then I jumped off because it was like the lower time frames, like the 5-minute chart, were reversing. I was like, I don't think it's going to happen today. So we'll find out. But when we drew this out on the live streams, right, we talked about here, will it bounce? It did. It bounced to 116. Over here on October 17th, we talked about, will it bounce? It did. And it came all the way back up. I think it wicked to like 116 again. And then we talked about, Bitcoin bulls will not want to break below and start seeing candle closes below this upward trend line. Just like, when I drew this out back on October 8th, you wouldn't want to see candle closes back below that upward trend line, like pointed out. And so after it came back down, kind of back tested it, got rejected, support was lost, and was flipped into resistance and resumed lower with that 11% move, right? Over here, we're saying the next move down could be swift, right? The next move down could be swift, but still would take, even looking at this chart, it would still take like 8 or 9 days or a week or 2 weeks, to play out, right? So again, I never expect this fractal idea that I hand drew based off of like my targets and based off of this distribution schematic from Wyckoff, right? And so that was just like the overall idea. And there are it's still eerily similar, but I don't expect it to be 100%. And I don't expect the fractal to play out forever, right? So luckily, this fractal is only showing like 30 days because I've never really seen. I've had good fractals last like 45 days, and I would say it's like eerily similar for like 45 days. And people were like losing their mind, and I was losing my mind. And I would say, I don't expect it to continue to play out forever, right? Luckily, this fractal, 62 days, right? So, what are we on? Day 27 days. So maybe we got like 20 more days, 20 more days, and then maybe completely changes. So maybe in the next 20 days, this actually plays out, and then, we can retire this fractal once and for all for the bulls, because I'm sure they're sick of looking at it. But don't be a perma bull. Don't be a perma bear. Try to remain as neutral as possible so you can make business decisions based off of what you see on the charts, and then trust what you see on the charts. And if you're not sure, study the charts. That way you can do your best to be on the right side of things. Good morning. Everything I just covered. I just covered everything on the higher time frames. It's not the shorter term. Expect bounces shorter term, because all these higher time frames are flipping bearish. So they're reversing. So in the shorter term, expect bounces. Just like I said over here, expect a bounce. Over here, expect a bounce. It bounced. Even had a small bounce here. It's bouncing here as well, right? Expect bounces along the way, shorter term. So a lot would have to happen in the longer term to start considering a chance for higher all-time high on BTC. And like I just talked about on the 3-week chart, early on in the stream, after a bearish engulfing candle on the 3-week chart, it still took at least 12 weeks to make a new all-time high. That's 4 months, right? That's That's on a local top. This could be the top. It started as a local top. It could be the top. So about to find out. Um, if it's another local top, this fractal wouldn't play out most likely because I think the wick was at like 126 something, right? So the last couple of local tops were 32% drop. So if you start getting all the way down like below target four is at like 92 to 95,000. So if you're down here, if this fractal is going to play out all the way down to 75,000, it's no longer a local top. In hindsight, it wasn't the local top. In hindsight, it's going to be uh, the top. And if it were to drop 40% before this fractal is done playing out, then I could expect a nice rally bounce, maybe not as high as people would want because they're already trapped. But if you see a 30 to 40% bounce after that, like maybe rallies all the way up, maybe it doesn't even rally that high, but you know, maybe it rallies all the way back up over like a 2-month period. That would be awesome as well. So swing trades to the downside, swing trade to the upside, and then I would be attacking that bounce again, maybe not in Bitcoin, but maybe on Ethereum or XRP. Uh, so, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. That's a lot of speculation. A lot of speculation. Pure speculation. But that's what we do. We speculate. Ethereum posted about this earlier today. What did I say? What did I say? Hold on. Here, I want to stay on the live stream. I don't want to get distracted, but yeah. Let's go over here and then let's add. Oh, here we go. We expect bounces along the way. We hope to hit all price targets, right? We do hope to hit 4 out of 4 targets. We don't always hit 4 out of 4 targets. It's very out of the ordinary if we don't hit at least one target. If I draw the targets and we don't hit one target, it seems like a high probability we're going to hit at least one target. The probabilities aren't as high for target 2. Probabilities aren't as high for hitting target 3 every time. Probabilities aren't as high for hitting target 4 every single time. But we hope to hit all price targets. We don't predict big bounces at every target. But target 2, big bounce. Target 3, pretty good bounce. Target 4 is going to be a lesser bounce, right? So bigger bounce, lesser bounce visually. I don't know about the percentage wise. If you count the wick, that's pretty big bounce, but probably about the same, but slightly lesser. So maybe this bounce becomes slightly lesser as well. But if you're an Ethereum bull, then you won't want to see daily candle closes below target 4. You don't want to see candle closes below target 4. If so, then it's not just a local top. Then something deeper is happening, and you're going to come back and retest the 200-week moving average, right? So higher time frames are flipping bearish, like the weekly chart, but doesn't mean it looks slightly different than Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens from here. There is still holding out potentially. Where is it? My whole watch list got messed up. I accidentally hit the price change button and forgot to hit it back, and then it saved it that way. I'm like, "Argh." So there is still a glimmer of hope that we see Bitcoin dominance fall, create a lower high at some point. When, we don't know, if at all. It's bullish on the weekly chart. It's back above the trailing dots, blah, blah, blah. But because this could be a higher low, this could be a higher low, this could be a higher low, right? So, but there is a glimmer of hope that we see Bitcoin dominance put in a lower high. That would be the higher probability. And then maybe we come down and hit target 2. Then maybe we come down and hit target 3 and retest the 200-week moving average. And if so, we may see whether it's Ethereum, some of the other altcoins, make a nice run, right? Make a nice run. This move here, we saw XRP, HBAR, XLM, and Algo, to name a few, that had 300% bounces, right? If it were to do something like this, I would expect a bigger bounce than that. But and not all coins, right? Some of the coins didn't have those type of bounces. Some of them are going to look different than others. But I'm still holding on to glimmer of hope. So we don't know if this is just another higher low, right? Or it's going to put in a lower high. It already wicked up to there, right? It wicked up to here. And now it's battling back to kind of go fill that wick. So we will see. But that would be my optimistic for altcoin bounce, altcoin play, right? For swing trade and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. But that's my one glimmer of hope. That could be my mindset would change on altcoins. Not all of them. If we start to see it break back down, and if we start to see like another sell signal on the weekly chart, right? So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe it's just Ethereum. I don't know. I don't know. So if it were to happen, like maybe altcoins are bouncing here, right? And then I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it. But it's got some work to do. Ethereum's got some work to do. It is in a downtrend. It has retraced and hit 4 out of 4 targets so far. So if a scenario like that were to play out and you got your handy dandy TA work, right? And Bitcoin dominance is about to drop, maybe there's a bounce like that. But you wouldn't want price to start dropping back below target 4. So the honest answer is we don't know yet, but we do know that the weekly chart has a pending sell signal. There we go. We do know it has a pending sell signal on the weekly chart. MACD bearish crossover, RSI sell signal, right? That's all on the weekly chart. 2-week chart, still above the trailing dots, came back to retest it. Could have an RSI sell signal in the near future on the 2-week chart. Could have an RSI sell signal on the 3-week chart in the near future. Hello, hello, hello. Monthly chart, longer term, bearish divergence. So as of right now, target 4, like I said, close below target 4, get that weekly sell signal, all that stuff. And, any support that has been lost has now become resistance, right? You've got resistance where it started to break down there. You got you got resistance everywhere, depending on what you're looking at, right? Trending dots, target 3, right? All that stuff. So, whoo. Algo. This bullish divergence. This is not bullish divergence down here. This was, but this was not bullish divergence down here. So it did make a lower low without divergence. So keep an eye on that. Algo, that was not the low. This is the new low, right? It could always go lower. Weekly chart is bearish. Downward sloping 200-week moving average is a bearish sign. Could we have bounces along the way? Sure. Could come back up, retest trending dots. Could come back up, retest 200-week moving average like it did back in December 2024. But as of right now, it's trending lower. XRP, bearish divergence, lower high, sell signal, bounce, well below the trending dots though. Another sell signal, blah, blah, blah. So Cardano is below the 200-week moving average. Downward sloping 200-week moving average, not a good sign if you're hoping for bullishness, right? Upward sloping, it still only had a bounce, like even from the trending dots, 250%, right? Great bounce, but was quickly sold off in a matter of a couple of weeks. And then now it's all the way back down, right? All the way back down. Same price as it was February 2021. Has not made a new all-time high. And on that liquidation event, came all the way down to 27 cents. And what I said, when the liquidation event happened, many were calling for a spring. Many were hoping and calling for a V-shaped recovery, right? I saw many call for that. But so many people were just liquidated. So many traders. It was all over the news, all over social media, right? So I said it would take time for the ship to get turned around. And it's likely that the wick would be revisited. Some of the wick would be filled, and some of the crypto assets have already done that. Like Algo already took out the wick low. Some of the other ones after the bounce, like Cardano, is filling the wick, right? So yeah, that big wick down, it bounced all the way back up, and here we are retracing back down through half of that wick so far. So talked about it, right? Could this be the bottom? Sure, it could be, but it's too early to call it. Was this the bottom on XRP? Sure, it could have been, but it was too early to call it. Was this the bottom on Algo? Sure, it could have been, but it wasn't, right? Was this the bottom wick on Ethereum? It could have been, but it wasn't. Where's Binance? You get the point. Was this the wick over here on Bitstamp? Could have been, but it wasn't, right? So careful picking wicks, right? Going to be wrong more often than you're right. XLM, could this be the bottom? Sure, it could be, but it's too early to call it. Too early to call it. How's the dollar doing? Still ultra bullish on the daily chart. I have targets set up over here on the dollar futures. Target 1 has been hit so far. The probabilities have increased that we're going to go up and hit target 2. We're 54 minutes into it already. So haven't even done the chart requests yet. Stay tuned. PLTR 187. What else? Tell? Well, that's a nice bounce, right? So I mean, it's crypto. It's crazy. Uh, you had the wick on October 10th, and it turned out it took out that price by a lot, right? So it took that tell wiped out this price. It was not the bottom by 20%, and then has bounced hard up back into the trending dots, 41%. So that's interesting. Pending buy signal on the daily chart for Tell. Is is Tell trying to tell us something? Ooh. Maybe, but it may take some time. Like if there was going to be a significant bounce, right? And Bitcoin dominance is going to drop, then it seems like it would still take some time to play out, right? So it's got some work to do. It's got some work to do. More aggressive. That'd be more aggressive, right? There's no bullish divergence as of yet. So there was bullish divergence over here, bounce, sold off. So we'll see. We'll see. That's a big move today. It hasn't closed yet, but that's a big move. 30% in what is it? Probably like 8 hours maybe. From wick to wick. Yeah, 16-hour 41% move. That's massive. Massive bounce. So that's interesting. That's why we look at the charts. Rivian making a move, 23%. All right, let's look at the weekly chart. I haven't looked at Rivian in a while. Took forever, right? Going through this bottoming phase. Said it could take even longer, right? And drew this out probably on a previous live stream. You got the 200-week moving average. Seems like it wants to retest it. It's currently at like $20. Slow moving average. There's a gap at 23, I think, still. Yeah, right here. Still a gap on Rivian. There was another buy signal on the weekly chart. It's making a move now. 2-week chart has a pending buy signal. Like I said, it's taken a while going through this bottoming phase. And, let's go back to the weekly chart. If you get a weekly candle close above here, right? What is that? Above 1560, then you've got the probabilities will start to increase more. Right? So it seems like the bottom was in. Boom, 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 boom. Start flipping that area, and we could be going up and seeing a gap fill, right? So we'll see. It's possible it does something like this, comes back down again, and then goes for the breakout, right? So we don't know, but it is flipping bullish on higher time frames. It has been. It's been going through a battle, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And eventually the dam is going to break. And so there's no, oh, I always do that. There's no buy signal on the monthly chart yet. Like I said, it still has some work to do. 3-week chart, pending buy signal in the 3-week chart. For the first time in the history of Rivian charting, I probably got to post that one for Salamandrin. He'll like that one probably. So yeah, there you go. 3-week chart looks a little bit different, right? You got the pending buy signal on the 3-week chart. Let's take that one off. When does it close? Not till November 17th. So first time ever. If you get this candle close back above this pivot, that's something too, another milestone. So that's Rivian. Is the bottom in? Question mark. Again, none of this financial advice, educational purposes only. Hopefully we have a little bit of fun along the way. Anything else that jumps out at us? Anything else? Rivian jumped out. Unity software looks like it found support, broke out, back tested the 200-week moving average, and now is resuming off of it. That's the 3-week chart, still bullish. 2-week chart, still bullish. Weekly chart, still bullish. These targets are still valid. Right? These targets are still valid. It's been in a bear market. Like it started its bear market in November 2021. Right? Same with some of these altcoins. Right? Same with some of these altcoins have been in a bear market since 2021. So look how long it took, right? It's taken forever to get back above the 200-week moving average. Forever. 4 years. 4 years to get back above it. What else? Lemonade. Breaking news. Breaking news. Even drew this out, right? Come up and hit target 2. It happened a lot faster, though. Happened a lot faster. Arrow up. Downward sloping 200-week moving average. Broke through. Came back for a back test. And now is hitting, just hit target 2. Breaking news. And I have to post that one too. Oh, I already have it. Let's move this up here. Longer term target 2 has just been hit. Breaking news. Oh, I gotta check the wife's account. Ooh, wifey. I started doing videos on Lemonade like way back here. It was one of my top 5 AI picks, even though it's not officially AI. A couple years ago, they incorporated AI into every single aspect of their insurance business. And so that's why I included it into one of my AI stock calls a couple years ago. And it's taken time. It's taking time. But Unity software was on that video. I think it was 2023. Unity software, Lemonade. What else? I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe AI. AI. Trump. What else? Dog. MIGI. Rose came all the way back and made an all-time low, right? All-time low. So not all altcoins will make it. Maybe it'll rebound, but it came all the way back. At one point in its career, charting career, it was at almost 60 cents. And then it came all the way back, made a new all-time low. Someone had me chart this the other day, or a couple weeks ago, right? 0.011. Crazy. What else? Q&T. Pending buy signal on Q&T. Are we going to get an altcoin super bounce? I don't know. Maybe. I would really want one. I mean, I really want one. I do. I really want one. We're going to have to look at this closer. Lemonade. Woo! Basically an altcoin. Uni Software. Woo! Basically an altcoin. Tell. Is Q&T leading the way? Maybe, right? Is Tell going to lead the way on a bounce? I don't know, maybe. You gotta stay neutral. But looks completely different. So expect bounces along the way. Just know, like, if the weekly trending dots are here, that's a bounce of, like, say from the bottom low. It's not that the bounces can't be amazing, right? It's just from wick to trending dots on the weekly chart is 85%, right? 85% bounce. So it's got some work to do before you could say that, like, it's going to be a true altcoin season if we ever get one. Oh yeah. I forgot. I'm glad I told you to remind me. I told you to remind me today. So there we are, working. All right. Let's do it. Let's look at. We just covered Rivian, by the way, which is Tesla's little brother or sister, however you want to look at it. Right. Tesla. Okay, let's see. Weekly chart is currently bullish. Above the trending dots. Made a new all-time high on the weekly chart. Way too early to call it, but we don't know if it's going to put in bearish divergence or not, right? If it closed below it, that would be bearish divergence, but way too early to call it. And it's still bullish as right now on the weekly chart. 2-week chart is bullish, right? This would be the highest 2-week close ever, right? This would be the highest 2-week close ever above the trending dots. But, it is lower than this peak over here from December 2024. So it's possible it puts in bearish divergence. If RSI closes below here, that could be additional bearish divergence, assuming the 2-week price closes higher. So that could be all bearish divergence. Like I said, it's too early to call it. 3-week chart is bullish. Could also put in bearish divergence. Possible. Monthly chart had bearish divergence. Still bullish on the monthly chart as of now. It's early in the month, though. It's early in the month. So if it started to close back down here before the month closes, it would be bearish divergence, and this RSI buy signal would probably disappear. But right now, it's too early to be calling tops based on the higher time frames. Local top, maybe, right? It always starts as a local top. So if it's a local top, then you have to go back to the higher time frames and see how those are looking then. But daily, weekly, 2-week, 3-week, and monthly chart are all currently bullish. Could there be bearish divergence? Yes. Went heavy at 300. Yeah, that's a good move. $300, right? Um, yeah, we were talking about that back here, right? I'm not sure if you were here for that live stream, but um, we were live streaming it. I'm pretty sure we were live streaming back here, but also posted charts too that to come back to the 200-week moving average, and then posted the breakout did, and then posted, will break above or break below it. It broke above. It was a fake out, came back down, broke out again, and that target was hit as well. Like if you did like that target was also hit, right? So yeah, hit that target and then some, and then some. Now, you got this trend up and it's starting to round off, and there are potential bearish divergences, and so, it's kind of it would be a cautiously optimistic, right? So, um, at some point, you'd want to decide when to lock in your gains, because if you're at like, say $300, currently up 50%, right? These tech stocks will make nice 30 to 50% moves, consolidate, and then unless it's a blow off top like a Palantir or something, or SMCI had, right? Uh, Unless it's a more of a blow off top like this, I mean, that's just wild. Oh no, that's not even a blow off. That's just a bounce. This was the blow off top, right? And had the bearish divergence. Unless it does something like that, probably get more of a rounding top. So this is a massive move. And usually they're like tech stocks will be like 30 to 50% moves, like the bigger ones. But like that was like a blow off 350% move roughly, followed by a bear market, right? Went into a bear market and then dropped 86% over a period of 252 days, right? And here we are coming back down to the 200-week moving average again. So again, that was, you could say bear market for 607 days now, right? Especially if it comes back down over here. So that's SMCI as an idea. Tesla had this massive bounce there, made a new all-time high. Is this and then price came back to the 200, very similar to SMCI, made another big bounce, and then SMCI came all the way back down here. Is that what's happening? I don't know. So huge new all-time high, back to the 200, rally forever, right? This is a long rally. Rally forever, not quite making new all-time high, right? And then sell off. I don't know. Came all the way back to the 200. Nice bounce. I mean, it looks different, but so I don't know. It does look different. But there are similarities when price came back to the 200 and then had a big rally, and now, starting to round off. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, on all the higher time frames, it's too early to call it as of right now. Maybe we'll see like a sell signal on the daily chart, and then we can start talking about a local top. Too early to call it. and I'm usually pretty early, and it's early to call it. So just decide, like, maybe you have your, like, Falcon Boy 007. Maybe you have, like, your mental trailing stop loss, like, hey, break this trend line and I'm out. Um, break this trend line, back test, get rejected, come back down, and I'm out. Right. Uh, so maybe you have, like, your mental trailing stop loss. Hey, a sell signal below the trending dots, I'm out. Right. So, um, just have your plan in place ahead of time and try to execute your plan to the best of your ability. Do we have any other altcoins that are looking interesting? Mm-mm. Rivian. Oh, we covered that. Cover that. I mean, all right. Let's look into the. You got it. You got it. Let's look into the chart requests real quick. Oil. U.S. oil. I'm pretty sure I have it on here somewhere, but for search purposes, yep, there it is. Um, kind of choppy right now. There was an RSI buy signal on the daily chart. There is price is getting back below the trailing dots. Had another sell signal. Could be going through a bottoming phase, which is always choppy, chop, chop. Right. Weekly chart, bearish, continues to be bearish. Downward sloping 200-week moving average. Hasn't been retested since January, but still an overall downtrend on the weekly chart. What happened? What happened? What happened? Right. Could take time for it to go through a bottoming. We've seen other assets, and I'm not saying it will, but if this was the bottom, right, it may take some time, you know, for the ship to get turned around. But right now, it's bearish on the weekly chart. It's bearish on the 2-week chart. It's way below the 200-week moving average, which is bearish. 3-week chart is bearish. Monthly chart has been bearish. So it's all I see right now. Is this the bottom? Possibly. It's going to take some time for the ship to get turned around. For the monthly chart to flip around, and the 3-week chart and the 2-week chart and the weekly chart, it would take time. It would take time. So at the very least, I'm going to cover them all. Galaxy, the Capital Crusader. Yeah, that's number 2. Okay, that'll be the second one. Galaxy stock. It'd be easier if you told me the ticker symbol as well. Maybe you did. I don't see it. Galaxy. I'm assuming it's the NASDAQ one, but this is why we like to, have all the details so that we don't get the wrong one. Because you got Galaxy Surf, Galaxy Digital Inc. Class A TSX. I'm gonna assume it's this one. Bearish on the daily chart. What a massive move that was, though. Wow. Who knows what it was before that? Daily chart is bearish as of now. Weekly chart is coming back to the trailing dots. Long-term bearish divergence. Not looking great, but no sell signal or anything as of yet. Is that a bearish engulfing candle on the 2-week chart? Doesn't look great. Bearish engulfing candle on the 3-week chart. Doesn't look great. That would also be bearish divergence on the 3-week chart. So trending dots are at $20. It's currently at 31. Seems like the bounce could be over. Well, the bounce, at least the local top was over because that bounce is gone. But so, retest of these higher time frames. Still overall bullish on the higher time frames, but a retest at like $19, $20 seems like a possibility, right? Since it's still bearish on there. So $20 down here. So if you look at it like, right? Yeah. Bearish divergence. Eyeball test. Let's see. Maybe target 1, maybe close to target 2, target 3, target 4. Right? That's kind of like the eyeball test. And then if you look at like, happens to line up with $20, right? So target 4. If it comes back to the monthly trending dots and the 3-week trending dots, it could still remain like long-term bullish. But I would expect like, there's several reasons why it could start unfolding. It comes down and hits target 4. Whether it does or not, I don't know. I've never spent any time on this chart. So it's bearish on the daily chart for now. So we'll see. You can even see like the trending dots over here, like the trajectory of it, right? There it is. What else? What else? Peak. Yeah. Thanks for putting the ticker symbol in. USDT tells me what I need to know as well. Tells me for sure crypto, right? This is the first time charting this one. Never even heard of it. Is there one with more chart history? Let's see. I guess I'll just select Qcoin. Right? Yeah, select Qcoin. Some of them might have more chart history than others, but yeah. So daily chart. Daily chart is currently bearish, below the trailing dots. Hovering around all-time lows from end of July. No bullish divergence as of yet. Weekly chart is bearish. It's below the trailing dots as well. Not enough chart history for like these higher time frames. You can see it kind of throws off the whole algorithm for like color basing and all that stuff. But it's, it's hovering around all-time lows. Hovering around all-time lows, below the trailing dots through chart, monthly chart, right? So other than that, right? So is this the low? Are these the all-time lows? Is this a slightly higher low? Maybe, but it would take some time for, like I said, the ship to get turned around. If it was gonna, like, it could have like we saw, like 30, 40%, 80% bounces, right, with crypto easily. But I'm not saying it will, but if it was going to do anything significant, like go make new all-time highs, it would take time for the ship to get turned around, right? What else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Ooh, could you take a look at Chop Suey? Sure. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, I had it up here, but then I messed up my watch list. Yeah, similar thoughts to all the other altcoins that we already talked about, like Algo, XP, stuff like that. This could have this been the low? Sure, it could have been, but we've already clawed back, half of that so far. That move or close to it, right? So it's still bearish on the daily chart, still bearish on the weekly chart. But even if it bounce like to like the trailing dots, that's a 60% bounce, right? So if that was the all-time high, right? And it still bounced 130%, still bounced 140%. So expecting bounces along the way, but it's bearish on the weekly chart, bearish on the 2-week chart. Again, trailing dots are all the way up here. So if it were to bounce, still a decent bounce, but may not for a while. 3-week chart is bearish. Monthly chart is pending bearish, right? So that's about it. I think this is the last one. Oh boy, we got some other late ones. Tommy coming in late. Early bird gets the worm. I don't know if I got the energy for it. I'm running out of steam. Hour and a half. Penguin late. Yep. 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 Yeah. I mean, just they just start looking the same after a while, right? Even this looks similar to Ethereum, right? Lower highs, lower highs, lower lows, lower lows, lower high, lower high, lower low, right? Lower highs and lower lows. There's not much. If there was going to be a significant bounce and the higher time frames start to flip around, it would take time, right? That's like a shorter term bounce, maybe a longer term bounce, right? It would take time, but you have, however it plays out, right? However it plays out, the TA, right? If it was going to be a significant bounce, it just seems like it would take time. All right, Solana, we'll do it reluctantly. Yep, you got it. Yep. 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 since you asked nicely. Yep, you got it. You got it. You got it. Yeah, we covered it. We've been covering it. Daily chart. Yep, you got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Yeah. Yep. Daily chart. Was this the bottom? We don't know. Could have been. Bounces. It's filling that wick in though, right? It's filling that wick in, and it's still, could be the bottom. Sure, maybe, but the daily chart is still bearish. It seems like it would take time for the ship to get turned around. Weekly chart is bearish. Made a new all-time high. And made a lower high, right? 200-week moving average is down here at 100. So the weekly chart is still bearish. 2-week chart has a pending sell signal below the trending dots. That's bearish, right? 3-week chart has a pending sell signal below. Can't even see it. Definitely you can't see it. Weekly sell below. Spent some time down below there, right? Didn't make a new all-time high. Pending sell signal, right? So that's a 3-week chart. Monthly chart could have a candle close below the trending dots. It's going in the wrong direction, right? So if you got this direction, price goes higher. You've got this direction and to at least sideways, make lower highs, stuff like that. So daily chart, like I said, expect bounces along the way, but it would, for a significant amount, it would take time for the ship to get turned around. It's more likely, and it could take a while to retest the 200-week moving average than a new all-time high. More likely, but we don't have a magic crystal ball. Woo! Tired. Hour and a half. Tired. All right. Well, I think we're gonna call it here. Thank you for helping me, help you, help me with the algorithms. I appreciate it. Smash the like button, hit the repost button, all your comments, all your emojis. I appreciate all of that, and share with your friends and family if you think it's would benefit them, and or your followers, your subscribers, whatever. And we'll see you on the next live stream tomorrow, same time, same channel. And with that, adios. Have a good rest of your day.